Well, this summer, private equity firm Butterfly announced a $527 million continuation fund to extend its partnership and accelerate the growth trajectory of Mexican fast casual chain QDOBA. Comes less than a year after it acquired the Duckhorn portfolio in a near $2 billion deal. And joining me now for more on this is Adam Wagley. He's Butterfly's co-founder and co-CEO. Adam, great to welcome you to the East Coast.
Thanks for having us. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you as well. I mentioned a few of these deals here. What does that signal about Butterfly's ability to drive some of these large-scale transactions in today's market?
Yeah, so we are exclusively focused on the food and beverage industry across the whole supply chain, and actually it's the biggest industry in the world, food and beverage, $26 trillion. And I think what this signifies is that it's just very active. No matter what's going on in the world, the food and beverage industry is busy, and we're always trying to find the best deals or best transactions to do at that moment in time. But every year since we started about 10 years ago has been a very busy year for us.
Yeah, I'm sure it has been. And of course, this market environment keeping us on our toes as well. I want to ask you about how these deals position your firm for continued momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, again, the food industry, one of the biggest industries in the world, one of the highest growth industries in the world. And what we like to do is focus on the best possible houses on the best possible streets in that food industry. And so every time we do another transaction, we've now done a total of 11 since the inception of the firm, it plants a new flag for us in those kind of new areas. So you mentioned Duckhorn now in the wine space, in the premium wine space. QDOBA we've been partnered with for a while in the franchise restaurant space, Mexican kind of being an attractive place there. But if you just go through the rest of the portfolio, we have a number of interesting other investments like Chosen Foods in the avocado oil space, or Pete and Jerry's in the better for you egg space. And so what we're excited about is every transaction brings a new partnership, a new flag for Butterfly. And more deals beget more deals, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of expands our brand, expands the way that we're known in the marketplace.
I want to talk about the timing of these deals. What goes into your execution decision at that particular moment?
Yeah, great question. Well, look, we're very picky eaters, we like to say. So I think we've looked at a total of 3,000 deals over the last 10 years. And again, we've only done 11.
Yeah.
So we're very careful about which transaction we'll even get behind. And then when we do, we're very thoughtful. We go very deep in diligence. One of the other aspects of our model is we're super operational, Kristen. So what does that mean? Half of our team are operational people that help us underwrite how can we transform these businesses. And ultimately, our name is all about transformation. We're looking to invest in caterpillars that we can turn into butterflies.
Mm-hmm. I love that description there. And so I do want to talk about this transformation, right? The know-how that you are putting forward to help guide these companies. What is your ultimate goal for some of these firms that you've listed?
Yeah, well said. So look, what we like to do in our space as a private equity firm, obviously, is we do need to have exit optionality. And because we're middle market in food, we do have that exit optionality. We're really good at building companies to sell to strategics. Like we backed a protein business called Orgain, which we ultimately sold to Nestle in a two-part transaction very successfully. But we're also really good at building companies to sell to larger private equity funds. And then frankly, we're sitting here at the New York Stock Exchange. I do think at some point we'll be taking some of our portfolio companies public.
Interesting.
So very exciting to be here with you today.
Yeah, so to that end, we do see the market hovering near record highs. What's your view on the markets at where they are now?
Yeah, great question. And obviously my day job is more focused on food and private equity, so I'll be careful with what I say, but I'm pretty optimistic about where we are today. And see there kind of being a big opportunity, again, in food specifically. One of the things I was talking about this morning is that there's been a dearth of more consumer kind of food-focused IPOs, and we think that there'll be a big opportunity for the market to maybe see kind of more of those. So we're getting excited about getting some of our companies ready.
From your perspective, when do you think an IPO, a debut here at the New York Stock Exchange, is the right option for one of your portfolio companies?
Yeah, I think the key question for us is really having a business that's of the right size. I think our understanding of the market is you need to have the right liquidity for shareholders, that you can actually get the right coverage from research analysts and the ability to trade the business. So I think scale is really important. I also think the predictability of earnings, and for our management teams to be able to provide forecasts, hit those numbers, making sure that they've built the scale and diversification to actually be able to deliver results and have that predictability is kind of another important part.
Are you a foodie, Adam? Do you like eating at these brands?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like to say I eat for a living.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good job.
That's the way we do it. Yeah, so we eat our way through the portfolio, and we're actually all foodies pretty much at
Yeah.
Butterfly. It's a pretty number one criteria for bringing people on.
I'm already hungry, and it's not even 10 a.m. here at the New York Stock Exchange. Adam, thank you so much for joining me, and again, welcome to the East Coast.
Thanks for having us.
That's Adam Wagley, Butterfly's co-founder and co-CEO, joining us from Los Angeles this morning. Our thanks again to Adam.